I came here as a guest, but also this month, a year back, was when I got inducted as a member in this club. Now, I would like to ask you a question. Now, you're on the stage. You're trying to give an inspiring speech. And would you like it if someone's phone rings out of nowhere?
No.
No, right? Then kindly put your phones on silent. Give me a thumbs up if you're done already. Very fast audience. Wow, I really like the audience of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Okay. And now, usually people don't like if we talk about sex, religion and politics. But it's Bangalore Toastmasters Club and it's okay to talk about what you want. So, just kindly refrain yourself from talking about these topics. Now, last but not the least, kindly only walk in and exit the hall when you hear an applause. All good? All set? Okay. Now, the person I'm about to introduce is the one who inducted me in this club. Really good, right? And today, I have the opportunity to introduce him. Now, other than changing people's lives, his hobbies are to listen to music. And he used to be an avid reader, and then he got married. And he likes to travel places, like from one member's heart to another member's heart. Now, please give a huge round of applause to the president of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, Shreya, for that wonderful introduction. I'm sure I would not show this recording to my wife. Thank you very much. A very good evening to each one of you here today.
Good evening.
And I call to order meeting number 1439. Our secretary had shared the minutes of the previous meeting on the group. I now request our secretary, Toastmaster Prakash Anand, to please come here and give some special moments of the meeting. I request you to withhold till the minutes of the meeting is passed.
Good evening to all. Last meeting number 1438, held on 19th July 2024, there were 28 members and 7 guests present during the meeting. Theme of the meeting was hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life. Word of the day was resolute, meaning determined, with speech titled Constantinople. TM Vivek Vijayan won the Best Speaker Award. The Best Table Topic Speaker went to Toastmaster Mansi Bihani. The Best Role Taker went to Toastmaster Abhay Kothari. The Best Evaluator went to Toastmaster Shankar. The Best Tag Team Player was the Grammairian Toastmaster Rashi Palgota. To know more, visit our YouTube channel, Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Are there any changes to the minutes of the meeting?
No.
The minutes stand passed. I see some guests here. May I request all of you to please rise? Oh, it's so wonderful to see all of you here. And I'm sure that you've all come here to improve your public speaking skills, and you have come to the right place, because Bangalore Toastmasters Club is the second oldest Toastmasters Club in India and one of the largest. I'm sure you'll have an enriching evening today. You may please take your seats. Members, how do we welcome our guests? I now request our committee members to please stand up. Yes, you may reach out to any one of us during the break or anytime afterwards to know more about Toastmasters. And our Toastmaster membership, Bryan would have a special session soon after the meeting at 8:30 p.m. He will give you an introduction to Toastmasters. I think it will be another enriching moment for all of you. Thank you. You may please take a seat. Shamila, a teenage Sri Lankan girl, was anxiously waiting for a visitor outside the Ragada Rehabilitation Hospital on the outskirts of Colombo. Well, not for a doctor, not for a family member, neither was she waiting for a boyfriend, but for an Englishman who was traveling nearly 11,000 kilometers to just see her. Till then, her deepest desire was to pick up a few flowers from the ground of the hospital's Buddhist shrine, but she could not do it because she was paralyzed from waist down after she was run over by a bus when she was about 4 years old. And she was confined to an old and straight-backed wheelchair. She had to totally depend on her old and weak grandmother to wheel her around. But this Englishman, Dave Constantine, made a big difference to her life. She could now easily move around and wheel herself independently without depending on anyone. She could go out and find a job. She could do so many other things which earlier seemed impossible to her. He in fact gave her wings. Now, how did he do it? He designed a very special wheelchair which she could easily use to navigate herself. It was lighter, it was more efficient, and it was easily affordable. And why did he do it? This middle-aged Englishman, Dave Constantine, was a co-founder of a UK-based charity called Motivation. And he had a dream, a deep desire to change the quality of life of people who had mobility disabilities. He was a student at the Royal College of Royal School of Art in London, and along with a fellow student, Simon, together they developed a wheelchair for the developing countries, for people, for using in developing countries. And that was the one which made a big difference in Shamila's life. Now, you would wonder what is so special about the wheelchair and about David Constantine rather. Pardon me? I heard somebody saying something.
He himself is a...
Yeah. In fact, unlike most other wheelchairs, this was a wheelchair that was designed by a wheelchair user. At an age of 21, this able-bodied David dived into a lagoon in Australia on a holiday, while holidaying there. And he came out floating with an injury that changed his entire life. He had broken his neck and was paralyzed from neck down. David was actually a quadriplegic. And as George Bernard Shaw quoted, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. But some people get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. David was one such person. He was unreasonable with himself to achieve what he set out to achieve. And that's why if you be be unreasonable, you can become extraordinary. Now, in our Toastmasters here, we have a member. He may not shape your entire life, but I'm sure that he can surely shape your holidays. He can create dream holidays for you. He is in the hospitality business and has a homestay called the Hidden Valley in a wonderful exotic location in the beautiful hills of Chikmagalur. He is a seasoned Toastmaster and he is extremely helpful and is always at the service of other Toastmasters. Please join me in welcoming this wonderful Toastmaster, a man with a powerful voice, a thorough gentleman, a friendly, helpful, and the enterprising Toastmaster Alan, who would be the master of ceremonies today.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my fellow dreamers. Good evening. Today we have a wonderful theme. If you can dream it, you can do it. As I ruminated on this fact, grammarian please note, it struck me that from the time that I was little, I loved and was inspired by the fact of being a storyteller. And now you may ask me, how did I develop this interest of being a storyteller? Now, I don't know how many of you can relate to this, but I'm sure there are people who can relate. But growing up, when we used to sit in front of the television, there were shows running. The shows were interesting, but what was also interesting were the ads in between. And strangely enough, I as a person used to look forward to the ads that used to come because I found them fascinating because they were 30 to 20 seconds of telling a story and telling a story well in that short period of time. I was so inspired by that aspect that I actually studied advertising, as mass communication during my graduation and did my post-graduation as well in that and got into advertising. Closer to home, once I came to Bangalore, I remember joining Bangalore Toastmasters in March 2013, sitting in one of those seats there and listening to stories and being fascinated by all those stories. And it's amazing, right? Today, over a decade later, here I am telling you my story. So, for all the members and guests especially who are here, you may look at a lot of people who come up here and say, man, they seem to be doing well, can I do it? And I just want you to know that if you can dream it, you definitely can do it, and one day you will be up here inspiring someone else to tell their story as well. Speaking about dreaming and achieving all of it, all this, me standing here with all of you, wouldn't have been possible without the visionary Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, who actually conceptualized this whole movement in his basement. And today, wonderfully enough, the Toastmaster movement is present in over 15,000 clubs in over 122 countries. Now, a typical Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 phases. You have the prepared speeches where you have a speaker who comes up on stage, prepares speeches and delivers it. Then you have the table topics where you have a table topic master who calls people up and gives them a topic and they have to speak spontaneously. and then you have an evaluation session where the meeting as a whole is generally evaluated, right? Now speaking about general evaluation, the whole evaluation is manned by someone called the general evaluator, who I have the pleasure of introducing towards the start of the evaluation session. Now, the evaluator, the general evaluator, is ably assisted by what we call a tag team, who I am going to introduce to all of you right now. The timer for today is someone who has recently started working out. And through the pain of it all, he really hopes that the results will be worth it. May I request the timer for today, Toastmaster Kenneth, to read his roll out.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
As today's timer, I came across a very relevant which said, I have a timer in my head. It goes off when it's snack time, nap time, and time to avoid responsibilities. Anyways, since it's none of those times right now, I have an actual clock with which I will time the prepared speeches, table topic speakers, and evaluations. I'll also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, the yellow, and red color, or by ringing a bell. After the red signal, the speaker will be given a grace period of 30 seconds, after which I will ring the bell twice. Speakers and evaluators who have either fallen short of the minimum time, which is before the green signal, or exceeded the timeline beyond the grace period of 30 seconds will be disqualified. The prepared speeches will be 5 to 7 minutes in length. I will signal green, yellow, and red at 5, 6, and 7 minutes respectively. The table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. I will signal green, yellow, and red at 1, 1.5, and 2 minutes respectively. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. I'll signal the green, yellow, and red at 2, 2.5, and 3 minutes respectively. Thank you very much.
Everyone please remember, the tag team are the hidden heroes and superstars of this meeting, and they could really do with wonderful clapping. So please, give a big round of applause. Now the R counter is manned by someone who's been a classical singer from the age of 5. Now she had a dream of performing in a prestigious venue, and she achieved that when she performed at Aksharavani. And so the timer for today, please may I request Toastmaster Amshu to explain her role, please. Please give us a good round.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ryan. As I be serving as your counter today, I will be listening very carefully for the use of vocal pauses and crutch words such as you know, and repetitive words or phrases. I keep track of everyone and report at the end of the meeting on who best controlled the use of filler words. Thank you.
Our grammarian for today during this meeting is possibly daydreaming about grammatical errors. But normally, when he is on his way to work, our grammarian daydreams about exotic locations that are beyond that don't have timelines, right? That don't have those crunchy timelines to follow, and he wishes that he could be vacationing and not be on his way to work. Ironically, another interesting aspect about our grammarian is that he likes to water his plants, and that too, this is well beyond 11 p.m. every night, right? To ask him more about this, you can do it during the break. But until then, may I request Toastmaster Vijay to explain his role.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As a grammarian, I am responsible for two activities today. The first activity is noting down the good usages and the not so good usages of English grammar language. And apart from that, I will be also introducing the word of the day. The word of the day is ruminate. Ruminate basically means to think carefully and for a long period on something. For example, students ruminate to clear their exams with good grades. EPE ruminates to have a successful meeting at the end of every week. So everyone here ruminates in one way or the other. But today, whoever is going to use the word ruminate, the maximum times is going to get their fantasy through. And I will reward him with the fantasy choice. With that, back to
Thank you, grammarian. I'm going to ruminate on that. Now it's time for the prepared speeches, and our first speaker for today is going to be attempting level 1, project 2 of the dynamic leadership pathway. Before I introduce the speaker, I would like to introduce the speaker's evaluator, who after she sent the introduction today, I very cautiously said hi to her because I learned that she learned karate in college. May I request Toastmaster Danya to read out the guidelines of the speaker's speech.
The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech. Time duration 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Danya. Now, speaker of today has a bucket list, and that bucket list involves successfully completing a half marathon and a 10K marathon with his speech title, A Haunting Journey to Twin Rainbows. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Maheshwaran.
Does anyone spotted 2 rainbows at one moment? Yes, there are a few hands. Okay. For the rest, I assume at least you have spotted once in your lifetime 1 rainbow. Generally, seeing a rainbow is a breathtaking moment, isn't it? That too, if you are witnessing simultaneously 2 rainbows, it's a magical. It's something like nature is doubling its beauty just for you. Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest.
Good evening.
It was a day me and my colleagues Manohar and Nirmal started to Queen of Hills, Ooty. We planned in such a way that we will reach Bandipur National Park at 6 a.m. For everyone's benefit, Bandipur forest is at the tri-junction of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And the agenda of reaching 6 a.m. is One is, of course, checkpost will open only by 6. And the other one is probably if you could entry early into the forest, you will have more chances to spot the animals. So with that planning, we started and we are almost arriving, reached the checkpost. Just closer to the checkpost, I was just brought down my car window, started feeling the cool breeze and started hearing the birds' vocal tunes. When we crossed the checkpost, we were in the excitement to see the beauty of green sceneries of the huge tall trees. But the sad part is, the forest was standing so sad with the dried leaves, and its hair has been colored in brown with a poor beautician because we were traveling during April, the last April. We didn't get disappointment. We started searching, spotting some at least wild animals, since that was one of the idea to get in around 6 a.m. But we left with few peacocks and deers on the roadside. Then the rest of the journey, being engaged by the songs which was running all the way in our car, and we reached Ooty homestay around 10 p.m., which is almost 10 kilometers away from the city. The moment we reached, yes, the campfire has been set and the tent has been put on the facing view of city lights, and the hot starters are ready. So what next? Cheers, it's a party time. I'm stopping it here because there is a recording going on. The next day morning, we had a very, very beautiful view of Ooty Hills. The one side full of tea estates, the other side the view of carrot and beetroot plantations. In between there are zigzag roads. Then we after having a cup of tea, we had a plan to do a small cycling inside the estate. After covering some distance, we spotted there's an animal footprint. We were a little scared because the claw mark is so deep. Ruminating what could be the creature that left the marks. Then we were just taking a small stick just from there and measuring approximately towards half the inch. Then we directly called to the homestay owner and then asked, this is what I see. Then he said that could be bear or tiger. Then we didn't proceed further on the cycling into that estate. And after spending some time in the homestay, we again had a plan to visit nearby falls. So driving in the zigzag road for almost 30 minutes, we reached the falls, and we parked the car and then we started walking for some time. And we could hear the noise of water falling on the ground. Just following the sound, we reached the falls, which is only one of the rare because there is no regular visitors. It means only we three were there in that complete area, which is again a dense forest. And after we reach, there is no clue because we don't know what is the depth of the falls, and we don't know which hole what will come, what time the animal will come to drink water. We don't have any clue at all. And where the slippery places, we don't have any idea. But ruminating once again, I stepped into the water and I'm the only one who knows swimming, others two don't know. And taking the support of some 4 feet stick, I reached slowly to the waterfall area and started taking a shower, and then one of my colleagues also followed me. And then he asked, why don't we climb up to the falls and then see from where the water is originating? So I was also, out of curiosity, I said yes. And then we three climbed to one stage which is almost 30 feet above. After reaching that spot, we could found a natural pool. And again, I only have to go and measure the depth of the water because I know swimming. And it's not about swimming, but there are a lot of dangers because I could see almost 100 plus holes on the areas. And measured it almost 5 feet it is, then again one more colleague followed. We took a bath. After some time we noticed there are type of leeches on the body, whole body. Got panicked immediately and we got out. I made my other colleague also to get panicked. Then he said, I'm not again proceeding further. Then in the meantime, one more adventurer, my other colleague named Manohar, He was in the search of to climb further, how to climb further. Then me and him climbed with huge rocks was there. At one stage there was a very huge rock which is almost 8 to 10 feet high. And we stuck and he got disappointed because he felt that we cannot proceed further. But I was having concern that there are big holes over there and I was thinking from which animal will come? How do I get escape? My imagination fully on that area. But at that moment I don't want to give up, so then I took a chance. I just went near to the rock and I just saw there was hanging plants. I somehow could hold it, then I asked him to support me from the back and he also pulled little and I could able to go to the top. And again I pulled him. There we saw a huge stream falling from so high and only we two were there. Karma repeats, again I have to go, measure the depth, reach the falls, and there, while taking a shower, I could see two twin rainbows just 2 feet away. So my dear Toastmasters and guests, in life you will have a lot of hurdles, ups and downs. You will not get so pleasant opportunities. Sometimes you will get very dry opportunities. So don't stop, keep searching. Sometimes you will not spot opportunities, something like big like elephants or you will sometimes get only peacocks. Sometimes you don't know the depth of the opportunity. You have to climb, jump, roll, fall. You have to come up. So keep searching till you reach your rainbow. Back to the Rainbow.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maheshwaran, for taking us on that beautiful, haunting journey of those pause or marks that you saw. After that, I would have left, but you require a bravery award for everything that happened after that. Also, on a lighter note, I was wondering in the title of your speech, you said twin rainbows, but after you said cheers, I understood, how that could have been possible. On a lighter note, anyway, thank you again for that great speech. Now, moving on to our second speaker. Our second speaker is going to be attempting Level 1, Project 3 from the Presentation Mastery Pathway. Now, the speaker's evaluator is someone who likes to play the card game Bridge and is so good at it that he has medals to show for it. May I request Toastmaster Sudipto to read out the guidelines of the speaker's speech.
Thank you, Alan. The purpose statement for the speech is for the speaker to practice using vocal variety and body language to enhance speech. Back to you, Alan. I will note that I used to also learn karate.
Get ready for the duel that is going to take place post this meeting. Anyway, on that note, our speaker for today, interestingly, is an Airbnb super host. Now, with her speech titled Present Perfect, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Mansi Bihani.
Walked into a bar. It was tense. But worry not, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm not your grammarian for the day. Neither am I going to steal Toastmaster Vijay's thunder by cracking grammar jokes on tenses. Instead, let's explore a different kind of tension. One that arises when we juggle our past, present and future all at once. But before I begin, let me tell you about my date with Ranbir Kapoor. Pinch me, for I must be dreaming. The man who adorned the walls of my room for years was finally going to grace me with his presence. Butterflies had been fluttering in my stomach for weeks. We were supposed to meet at this exclusive rooftop bar on MG Road with a breathtaking view of Bangalore. I'd imagined us sipping cocktails and being lost in conversation. The day dawned bright and everything seemed right. The red dress I had picked out shimmered like the promise of a perfect evening. My high heels clicked confidently, and as I made my way to the bar, suddenly my car decided to throw a tantrum, refusing to start. I quickly booked an Uber, but the driver called and said, "Madam, where is the drop location?" I innocently revealed the location only to see a pop-up on my phone, "Ride cancelled." I booked another cab and another cab, but guess what? "Madam, where is the drop location?" By then I settled for the Namma auto, and as we battled our Namma traffic, I was a sweaty, flustered mess. Undeterred, I kept chanting, "All is well, all is well. One glimpse from Ranveer will set everything right." But when I reached the bar, a pit formed in my stomach when the waitress mentioned, "Miss Bihani, we're extremely sorry, but Mr. Kapoor can't join you tonight. He sends his apologies and this drink." There I stood, dressed to impress, sipping a solo cocktail, when the breathtaking view of Bangalore mocked my disappointment. By the way, the man isn't the Ranveer Kapoor you all are thinking about, but a boy in my college by the same name. The disappointment, however, was real. In life, we all desire perfect happy endings, don't we? In the movies, the guy gets the girl, the kingdom is saved, and life is forever paused in a blissful moment. And if you're like me, you will start sobbing when Shah Rukh Khan dies, even if he's the biggest creep, or should I say, creep in the movie. So when things don't go as per our expectations, we start suffering from stress, anxiety, depression. We crave pleasant experiences. Give me, give me, give me. And develop an aversion towards the unpleasant. No, no, no. But we also know that everything that exists changes and nothing lasts forever. Bangalore at the moment is blossoming with flowering trees. But will the flowers always remain? I learned this profound truth about impermanence during a Vipassana meditation. Without getting into the details, because many of you already know about it, but you have to observe your breath for 10 days and do nothing else. And when I began, my mind started wandering, bringing back pleasant memories from the past. Ooh, yummy jalebi. Unpleasant worries about the future. Visa, fees, speech. Oscillating between pleasure and pain, my breath changed. But as soon as I brought my mind back to observing it objectively, my breath became normal. Eureka! The saying, "It's all in the head," finally began to make sense. What if my speech is not good enough? What if people don't laugh at my jokes? What if the other speakers are better than me? Our minds have this tendency to create situations and make mountains out of molehills. But many a times these situations actually don't exist. My dream date, all that anticipation, excitement for something that didn't even happen, but it took me tubs and tubs of hot chocolate fudge, corner house ice cream to get over it. So by ruminating on the past or fretting about the future, we rob ourselves of the joy of being in the present. And that's the beauty of the here and now. It teaches us to focus on the journey or the process and not the results or the destination. You might be saying all that is very well, but if life is transient, what can we hold on to? And how can we part with a loved one? Remember, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the number of moments that take our breath away. Instead of thinking about perfect results, which can be a consequence of so many external factors, what if we channelize our time and energy into perfecting our actions and crafting truly outstanding work? Instead of thinking about the other speakers, what if we freed our mental resources, truly were to unleash creativity, ingenuity, free mind, and revised our own speech. And even then, if we fumble, it's okay. There are people like Toastmaster Joe's Paul who are going to find it lovely and earthly anyway. So in the end, it boils down to one thing. Carpe diem. Seize the present moment, because the beauty experienced in it will never be the same. It will pass, it will end, and that's okay. Because as life changes, new beauty of a different kind will arrive. Every year the flowers die, but every year they come back once again to deck the streets in their ethereal beauty. While Ranveer Kapoor didn't happen to me, I stayed in the present and met my soulmate, the love of my life, my husband Sushant. So, go hug your grandmother. Tell your parents you love them. Listen to your spouse, actually. Play with your children, even the furry ones. Catch up with that friend you've been meaning to, because as a wise man once said, realize truly that the present moment is all that you will ever have. Back to you.
Thank you, Mansi, for Toastmaster Mansi, for that insightful, introspective speech that actually took me down memory lane in more ways than one. Moving on to the third speaker and the last of the prepared speeches for today. Our third speaker is going to be attempting Level 3 Project 1 of the Leadership Development Pathway. Our speaker's evaluator is someone who gets up at 4:30 every morning, irrespective of when he sleeps. On behalf of him, may I request Toastmaster Kamlesh to read out the guidelines.
Good evening, everyone. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan and bringing the plan to fruition. Timer, please note, timing is 5 to 7 minutes, and all the best to the speaker. Thank you.
Just for the benefit of everyone present, I don't know what time Kamlesh wakes up, but the speaker's evaluator is Dr. DTM Rajdeep Manwani. So just so in case anyone is confused that Kamlesh wakes up at 4:30, I don't want to be responsible for that, right? Now, our speaker for today is someone who likes to loudly sing the wrong lyrics of a song while he's riding alone. With a speech titled Get, Set, Go, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Bryan.
Hey, why you do that? What I do? You blame it on me. I blame it on you. No. He. The class monitor blamed it on you. I am the class monitor. Oh. It must have happened to you all as it happened to me. That when you're agitated, when you're having an altercation with your colleague or a family, you tend to lose out the grammar, the English you learned in your entire life. And that makes you stutter. Stuttering usually makes you tell the wrong things, causing a wrong aspect of your life, causing something wrong. Raise your hand if you experience a similar situation which has led to a wrong outcome. I see many hands. Raise your other hand if stuttering in certain situations has resulted in good outcomes. A few hands. I received a phone call from my class teacher asking me to head the invites committee of transcendence. While we were on the phone call, my mind went into a state of complete chaos. What if I say no? Will I get another chance to present my skills? If I say yes, will I be accountable for all the mistakes I did? My mind went into a state of complete chaos and I stuttered. I told yes, without knowing what it was. Like that, I was appointed the head of the Invites Committee of Transcendence. A very good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening. Now you must be wondering, what is Transcendence? What is Invites? Transcendence is one of the biggest, one of the best organized intercollegiate science fest in Bangalore, hosted by St. Joseph's Boys High School, where I previously learned. It covers a wide range of events, a science fest, which covers a wide range of events, all the way from crime to science, engineering, etc., etc., etc. Like how you plan your birthday party, or like how you plan a Christmas dinner. It involves several stages of planning, right? And similarly, transcendence, behind transcendence, required multiple committees to work on it. Committees like the sponsorship committee, the marketing committee, the advertising committee, the registrations committee, the events committee. Invites worked under advertising. What did Invites do? Basically, in simple terms, Invites officially invited institutions across the nation to take part in the fest. After I put down the phone, my mind again was in a state of complete chaos. But I ruminated and calmly told myself, Bryan, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Unless you want to repeat the year and take part in Transcendence again, you will not get this opportunity again. So I told myself, it's time to get set, go. A man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. And so I started planning the event, planning how the committee of invites would work under me. I put it down to 4 stages. One was to create a team. A team in a committee is not a committee, it's a solo work. The second is to gather a list of schools and colleges and institutions all across India whom I want to invite, whom the college wants to invite to take part in the fest. And the third was research and development. Researching, getting their contacts, getting their email addresses, getting the contact numbers of their principals to get in contact and invite all of them to the fest. And the fourth one, and the most important, communication, actually invite them. So the plan was ready, it's time to set, go. Problems occur during the implementation process and not during the planning process. I think you all know this. The first step was to create a team. I had no worries in creating a team because I had a set of wonderful juniors who volunteered to help me in every step. I gathered together 17 of like-minded individuals who volunteered to help me out, and 3 of my classmates who volunteered. So I had a team of 20. And then the second step was to create a database. So here the problem arrived. The thing is, I already got a database from the school, which consisted of about 250 schools in that database. So the problem arrived here. When I went through the database, many of the schools had the wrong contact information. Many of the schools had the wrong email address. And in many cases, the school did not even exist. So the first step of the plan, the second step of the plan was to bring about a database which is working. So I gave my team a lead of, per head of about 25 schools, and in about a week, from 250 in the list, our database went up to 617. The third step was R&D, research and development. We already gathered 617 contact information of various institutions across India. The thing now was to gather their heads' contact information. That was done, as I mentioned, in a week. But going forward, in the communication stage, here was the second problem. The problem is that when we contact people across the nation, many schools speak in their vernacular language. And when my committee started calling them individually, they could not speak in their individual languages. And then came the second problem, which was to sort out people linguistically. The people, colleges which we were supposed to contact in Tamil Nadu, people who knew Tamil contacted, and similarly across the committee. I held evening meetings each and every evening to gather around the evening updates, and that helped in bonding. Toastmasters, I learned 3 important things in this project. One was delegating, the second was planning, and then the third was actually implementing it. The previous edition of Transcendence had 713 participants. Because I stuttered and said yes, the number went up to 830. It would not have happened if I had stuttered. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bryan. Interestingly enough, as I was listening to your speech, the biggest takeaway is sometimes we often hear that actual real learning happens beyond the 4 walls of a classroom. And somehow that was the thought that was resonating as you were talking. Thank you again. So everyone, wasn't that an absolutely fantastic prepared speech session?
Yes.
To show your appreciation, please give to all of them a huge round of applause. Now, we are going to have a short 5-minute break, but before we go on the break, the guests who came, there are quite a few of y'all. When you all entered the hall, you all must have been wondering why the members have a nice glow on their face and are, all healthy looking. That's because, I don't know whether you know this, but clapping is actually good for health, right? It stimulates the acupuncture points, it improves your blood circulation, and it also ensures that you have a great time, right? So after the break, we're going to have a very exciting table topic session. So, as I say, keep your clapping hands ready, and we will see all of you in 5 minutes. See you soon. Yeah. Now it's time for the exciting table topic session. Now our table topic master for today is someone who has meditated in the rain and calls it one of the most amazing experiences of his life. This will come as an inspiration for many, but against all odds, the table topic master of today has successfully completed the TCS 10K marathon. To set the stage on fire, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ganesh Pai.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
Before I begin, a statutory warning. Today's table topics are going to be incredibly easy. So, if you find yourself loving the topics and unable to stop at 2 minutes mark, please don't blame me. Friends and guests, only professors and lawyers have been prepared. Rest of us are always spontaneous, creative. So that's what we will be unleashing. I have a bunch of topics which are deep, reflective, experiential, and funny as well. So the next 30 minutes are going to be the best 30 minutes of this meeting. With that promise, let us start the table topic session. Can we have an applause for all those who will be coming? First topic. Love is blind, but marriage is a real eye-opener. Love is blind, but marriage is a real eye-opener. Topic goes to Toastmaster Abhay.
Topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Now, my aunt and uncle got married somewhere in 1994, and since my uncle was working in the US, my aunt accompanied him. For a long time, my aunt did not know how to drive, which was really inconvenient for my uncle. Because every time they had to go grocery shopping, he had to come home, pick her up, go grocery shopping, and then come back. Whereas my aunt, who, if she knew how to drive, could have done that on her own. So my uncle came home one day and took my aunt out to a very nice view. My aunt reflects that over dinner, my uncle was probably the most romantic person of that day. And after dinner, he suggested that they go on a long drive. Now, they went on a long drive and they reached their destination, and it was very late at night. Now, as they say, love is blind and marriage is an eye-opener. My uncle very calmly announced that if we were to go back home on that evening, my aunt would have to drive. So, he very blindly pushed her into driving. And my aunt, who was absolutely devastated at that moment, somehow picked up the courage and drove back home. So that's how she says she learned how to drive. Now, that step in her life made her really confident, and now she's able to actually travel the world without anybody's help. So certainly be bold, and that was the lesson that she gave me on that day. But she also said that it was one of the most harshest things that my uncle had done to her. So love is certainly blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. Over to you.
Nevertheless, next topic is, what is a skill you wish you had and why? What is a skill you wish you had and why? Topic goes to Toastmaster Srinivas.
As I ruminate on the topic, when I was studying 8th standard, I wanted to participate in the competitions. The competition about essay writing, which I normally fumble at. Second thing, making a craft. Yes, it's a good thing. But luckily, many of my classmates already given the name. So last thing I have only pointers about painting, which I normally sometimes do it because my family culture in such a way that, so we are a silk saree viewers, so we have come across lots and lots of colors every day. What I did was, I took a lot of silk threads from my home, went there, created a tangle. When you look at from one angle, you could find one different color. When you're looking at other angle, you can find one other different color. Apart from that, when you slightly tilt it forward, you can easily see a beautiful picture of Mahatma Gandhi. Since that was so great, the exhibitor wanted to have it in his
house. Literally, the auction was going on. I was standing there. I don't know why these people are talking so much. I was waited, and the bidding was going too high, up to 5,000 rupees at that moment of time. So luckily, the bidding was done for 5,000, and then the amount is given to the school. I was not knowing what is happening at that moment of time. Later on, when the school teachers appreciated it, that was one of my greatest things which I have done. I still ruminate that. Over to you.
Srinivas, we didn't know this side of you. I also love to paint, but my hand is lost. Share a life lesson you learn the hard way. Share a life lesson you learn the hard way. Topic goes to Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you. It was the year 2010 when I was a biker, and I'm with one hand. Okay, so I was biking all across the tri-states and beyond with a couple of teams. A lot of people taught me a lot of things about biking. I never paid heed to it, especially to carry your own repair gear. It so happened that on a ride back from Wayanad, so it was a rainy evening, and we were a gang of about some 25, 28 of us, and I had a cruiser, and the chain snapped, and I was what, probably at around 118, 120-ish speed, and I was overtaking. Chain snaps. Okay, and the reason I learned that lesson is because I had not greased it well in advance. Despite people telling me, I was like, I have a cool bike, nothing would happen to it. That's not true. It's a machine, it conks off. Right? So, and I ended up with 5 fractures. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, that's okay. Some lessons learned hard, generalized, and now that's made a better person of me. Right? So now when I get some advices from whoever, I do pay heed to it. So that's about the lesson learned. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Toastmaster Abhijit. I think Aditya Chopra will sign up you for. Okay, the next topic. The secret of staying young is to live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. The secret of staying young is to live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. And the topic rightly goes to Toastmaster Melvyn.
Eat slowly. Speak honestly. Be honest. Live honestly. Eat slowly. Lie about my age. Everyone knows I'm 50. That's a big lie, of course. So yeah, I think the last one is what particularly interests me, because everybody, when they pass a certain age, they start lying about their age. I don't know for what reason. But the other day, I met a young boy, and so he asked me, Uncle, what's your age? So I told him, guess what's my age? I think you're 40. I was so happy. He said, no, because my granddad is also 40. I realized he must be thinking, 40 is when you get old. So I realized he doesn't know what age is. He knows what it is being old. So it's an advice to people, why lie about your age? You know, because if you come to a travel agent They will see your age in your passport, and so you can't lie. But I'm still ruminating on the earlier speaker about the lessons learned. I'm thinking, was that a lesson I learned to ruminate about other speakers? I think they all did very well. So we must use the word ruminate to get the fantasy. And it is a fantasy to lie about age and nobody even knowing about it.
Sir, while we will keep ruminating over the age, please tell us whether you take Dabur Chyawanprash or Naxiri Vital with offline we can talk. Okay, the next topic is you have to be odd to be number one. You have to be odd to be number one. Topic goes to Toastmaster Rashi.
You have to be odd to be number one. So I think I have chosen a different path from my friends where I am going for work and they are going for studying. So I am the odd one out here, and I think I'm learning a lot more things than what they are. I'm not saying that they're not learning anything, and they're not, but so the point is that I think because I've chosen a different path, I've put myself in a different direction, and I'm not having fun. I'm not really enjoying being a teenager, I think, but hopefully, if not now, later, I get to do the things that I maybe would have done as a stupid teenager. And I think you don't have to be odd to be number one, but you have to be the best at what you do. So I hope I can keep trying and learning to be number one at what I do. But I think in today's age, it's just becoming more difficult because competition is too much. And so I don't know if I can ever get ahead of the competition, but I hope at least I can be at par with it.
This is one life which is consistent across generations. There is so much competition these days. So that's what even I had when I was your age. So the next topic is, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received? What is the best piece of advice you have ever received? Topic goes to Toastmaster Shivangi.
As someone in my youth, there is no dearth of advice that I receive. Everybody thinks that since I am young and I might have a lot of doubts of how to go about in life, from college applications to work to which course to pursue, everybody thinks advice is something we can freely give. Among all the advices that I've got, there's only one which is stuck with me since the time I got it. I was 17. I was part of an organization called Palgota. It was a religious organization, a spiritual organization, and I was going to give an exam. And my guru at that time, I gave the exam, I was very anxious, I had not prepared for it. I came out of the exam hall and my guru, my teacher, she told me that when you do something, go through the experience and leave the expectation. Because God is there to take care of whatever the result is. I am not an atheist, but I don't believe in the idea of God being there for everything. I have converted that life advice into a life lesson for me, as do what you must do and everything else will take care of itself. The universe will take care of you if you take care of yourself. That is the biggest life lesson I received.
HR also tells a variant of that. Do your work, don't expect it. Okay, the next topic. Friends buy you food. Best friends eat your food. Friends buy your food, buy you food. Best friends eat your food. Topic goes to Toastmaster Amrit.
I think I was 5 or 6 years old, and I was at my grandmother's place, somewhere in Punjab. And so we are all having evening snacks. My father is about to come the next day morning to take us back. So me and my siblings, we were there with our mother, and we are having this meal in the evening. Now, there were some apples which were distributed amongst everyone. Now, I am 6 years old and my sister is about 8, 2 years elder than me. We too were given half apple, and rest all got one big apple. And I was literally furious. I was like, why you have given me half apple? And I looked at my grandmother. I said, let my dad come and I will also give all of you half apple. So this incident has stayed with me, and over the course, this incident has been, this story has been passed on to my friends, everyone knows this story. So, I forgot the topic, but so yeah. So over the time, I do share my food with others, but I always, from this incident, I remember that you keep an eye on how much food you are getting and how much food is being distributed to others. Oh, back to you.
Write a book titled Who Ate My Apple? Okay, next topic. I'm so good at sleeping, I can do it with my eyes closed. I'm so good at sleeping, I can do it with my eyes closed. Topic goes to Toastmaster Kamlesh.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. In the last 1 month, there is one experience that I have, that I keep on sleeping till 7 o'clock. But my wife gets up at 5 o'clock and she proceeds for yoga. And she will enjoying every day, but one thing that's always happening in her mind, that why this guy is sleeping every day? I am putting a lot of effort to my health, but this guy is sleeping, doing nothing. And then that thing has caught up in her mind, and she pushed me back to again pursue the game, which is not required for me, I felt. But again, I have to also go along with at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not the 5 a.m. club of Robin Sharma, but still we have to follow. What I realized that after 1 month, what's not because of her that she pushed me to go for yoga and exercise, but important that I realized myself that I have made a very right decision for myself, and I think it's a very rejuvenating and relaxing for myself and my family. So I think sometimes if you are sleeping, but definitely you are missing something that you will realize over a period of time. Over to you.
So we know you're not part of 5 p.m. club, right? Part of 8 p.m. club? Next topic. I hate math, but I love counting money. I hate math, but I love counting money. Topic goes to Toastmaster Akash.
Well, I'm a student, so I don't have the problem of counting money because I barely earn any. But actually, I have always been someone who has hated math because I have always found the concept of learning things in math how you don't apply it in your real life. But I'm in my 4th semester now, and this is the last time I'm going to learn math as a subject. So it's going off my life forever now, and the subject that I hated the most, I'm becoming emotional and thinking I'm going to miss this subject now. Out of nowhere, I never expected it to happen, but So I did not expect to happen, and suddenly I found a new love for this subject. I started loving math, and once again, as I mentioned, I'm a student. Don't need to worry about counting money, no expenditure, no money. I had to just tell my dad to fill up, to tell the treasurer to pay the dues for Bangalore Toastmasters. It is necessary every 6 months, so that I don't get that message on my phone. And with that, I have
I'm sure you learn a lot of information. Okay, the next topic is, if you want people to remember you, borrow money from them. If you want people to remember you, borrow money from them. Topic goes to Toastmaster Sheeb.
If you want people to remember you, borrow money from them. So just saying that, always borrow money from a pessimist because you will never expect him to return it back. When you think about this topic, you come across situations in life, definitely, if you look at anybody in this world, there are occasions, especially when I was at 24, 25, working in Reliance Communications, there is too much of month at the end of the money because your money finishes by 15th or 16th. So all of us at that point of time, what we do was there was some NBFC called Muthoot Finance. So after 15th, if anybody is spending money, I'll ask them, Muthoot? Yes, because we used to pledge our gold chains to get money. So the topic is, if you want to borrow money, borrow from a pessimist.
The next topic is, describe a person who has significantly influenced your life. Describe a person who has significantly influenced your life. Topic goes to Toastmaster George.
So good evening, Toastmasters. I'm sure in our journey, many people would have been influenced. In my journey, as in my professional and also in personal journey, major on my personal journey, my mother has impacted my life like anything. Because last time also, many times I have spoken this. In one point of time, after my diploma, I cut across the road and going to the uncharted territory. Then I wasted my couple of years. Then my mother came, again taught me the life lesson, again brought me into the group, and again I started my educational journey. And by God's grace and prayer, I really reached to a good height and got a good professional employment, and I'm in a very good, decent, leading a family. So overall, my mother has influenced me like anything, and she is my mentor, advisor, and coach, and everything. Thank you.
Your mother's impact would feel it in your speech. The last topic, and the topic is, today is the yesterday you were worried about tomorrow. Today is the yesterday you worried about tomorrow. Topic goes to Toastmaster Alok Singh. Okay. Then can I request Toastmaster Vishal to come on stage and take a thought
every day I wake up and I'm always worried about what comes next. Worried about if my mother will cook my favorite meal for breakfast, puliyogre, or bland upma. And then breakfast time comes along. I realize there was no point in fretting about something so silly, because you know that my mom will cook upma just to make me feel bad. That is the paradox of worrying about what comes to tomorrow. I believe it was Seneca who said that worrying does not reduce tomorrow's problems, but it takes away today's peace. There was a time when I was worried about what will happen with my future. I was sitting and preparing for defense exams and I was not clearing any of it. I didn't know where my path would lead. That was last year. This year, I was able to clear all phases of these exams, but yet I did not get a seat, or I was not able to make it into the academy. So every year, every day, there is a new problem to worry about. So take a book out of take a page out of Mansi's speech and live in the present, because the present is perfect. And you don't need to make it any better. Just live in the now, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Over to you.
Friends, that marks the end of the table topic session. Must say, all of you did a fabulous job and really proved the point that we are so good at impromptu speaking. And I hope you all enjoyed this session as much as I enjoyed conducting it. Thank you so much. Back with you.
Everyone, what do we give Toastmaster Ganesh for handling wonderful session? As he promised, it was an easy peasy session. All the speakers I just noticed, though, forgive me for this grammarian, though they couldn't ruminate on the topic, but they actually spoke for a while, which, a lot of people come here and make promises, like governments, for example, but you delivered on that promise. Please give him a huge round of applause for Now it's time for the evaluation session, and I now have the pleasure of introducing the general evaluator for today. Our general evaluator, you may find it hard to believe once he comes here, but was an introvert in school and college. Related to the theme of today, our general evaluator had a dream of delivering a talk to Chinese students in China. His desire was so strong that it actually manifested in him delivering a talk in a Chinese auditorium to around 800 students, and that was a wow moment for him. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the general evaluator of this evening, Toastmaster Nithin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alan, for that Chinese introduction. Yes, when I was posted in China many years ago, I was invited initially when I went to China, I was invited to a government function where I saw a beautiful Chinese cultural presentation going on in a huge stadium consisting of 1,000 people capacity. At that moment, I dreamt of speaking on the same place. It was just a desire. But let me tell you, my friends, when you desire something so passionately, the universe comes together to help you achieve it. As I started my work in China, I met in a social function a teacher who saw my desire, was a teacher in university, and when I was coming back to India, at the end she arranged for a presentation to the university students. But I didn't know the number. I still remember the day I was sitting with my Indian friend who had come as a guest, and we were working on presentation, and then I asked her in the chat, how many students are coming? My friend who's been staying in China for the last 18 years, who has just walked in, he knows how difficult it is to speak to Chinese in English language. When she told me it's 800, I was shocked. I had to down a couple of pegs, prepared myself. You won't believe, next day when I went there to the venue, I saw the same venue. It was the same place. The universe had given me the opportunity to present myself. But not for Bangalore Toastmasters, which I had an experience of over 6 years, I would have just run away from that place. Just like the way I did many years ago in college. But thanks to Bangalore Toastmasters, I stood there, gave a speech, and DTM Rajdeep, I also sang a Chinese song. Well, that is a magic that can happen. Bangalore Toastmasters also creates that magic. You can see speakers coming here and delivering the speeches and improving the skills. And let's see how today's meeting it was. It doesn't start at 6:30. It has started much before. Toastmaster Sheeb has been active, organizing people, collecting speakers, and arranging that they all are ready. Sheeb, that has been a wonderful job. You had advised me earlier and asked me, and that's well done. I only request that the creation of the WhatsApp group be done earlier, so that we know who are all participating. We can get in touch with each other and find out how they're. That's the only suggestion I have. Meeting started at 6:30. Shreya, you did a very good job. You came here. You have been different. Every time I see, I've been seeing the video, though I've been not coming personally here, but I ensure that I see the video and see what is the suggestions we can give. You have been improving quite a bit, meeting after meeting. I love the way you introduced Joes. I think it's been different every time. Give Sergeant Arms a very big round. Then our dear President came with a message. He talked about a lady who has been waiting for Dave. President, you said Dave and then David. Stick to one name. But the story was good. But I did not see the connection to the theme. It was connected to the theme of the term, but not to the theme of the meeting. Probably you can bring a story which is connected to the theme, but very well done. You are showing confidence, coming here, giving good message, giving an example to your committee members. Give the President a big round of applause. And I like the way Secretary spoke. It was very short and very sweet. That's how it should be. Because the minutes have already been circulated. There's nothing else to say. You showed the highlights. I think under guidance of the President, you must have done it. Good job done, Secretary. Give Secretary a big round. Prakash Anand is our Secretary, if I'm not. Now next came the Toastmaster of the day. I'll talk about Alan later. The first speech was given by Toastmaster Maheshwaran. He was talking about rainbows. Two rainbows at one moment. Very interesting title. And he is being evaluated by Toastmaster Danya. I request Danya to come and
How many of you, along with me, with Toastmaster Maheshwaran's speech, started thinking about when was the last time you saw a rainbow, and then by the end of it ruminated and wondered about all the proverbial rainbows that life has actually handed over to us? Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the most powerful part of starting a speech with a question. We're all on board, and I think Toastmaster Maheshwaran did that awesomely well. We were in the car along with him and his two other friends driving to Bangalore Forest. What Toastmaster Maheshwaran did really well was take us on the journey through a humorous, light-hearted storytelling that he used, which was in tune with the content of the speech. He also brought in suspense when he refused to share with us what the camera was actually recording. The purpose of his speech was to make a purposeful speech with a structure and to deliver it in a well-executed manner. If we look at it from that point of view, I think some areas where he could improve is, yes, he did get us onto the car and we were going with him, but we could have known why we're going, and again, the whole journey about if we could split it into three parts of what the expectation is and what the reality was, and the purpose of the speech was how at the end of the day sometimes life delivers us rainbows. So when we sat in the car and went with him to the forest, there were a lot of disappointing moments. So that whole disappointment could have come across a bit more stronger. It was, they were expecting to see animals and tigers, and they heard about Bangalore forest, and then when they went it was all dry land and there was nothing that they could spot. And end of the day again about how the surprise part of it also could have been stronger. He and his friends sat totally disappointed at the end of the day, and he had promised his friends to see the animals, and alas, there was something in the sky, twin rainbows, and that brightened up the day and created memories forever. So I think overall he did a great job of taking us on the journey. And since this is the second speech, he has a lot of voice modulation and pauses are something he can work on. It's not really a requirement for the current speech, and I wish him the very best. Thank you.
Toastmaster Maheshwaran, where is he? Raise your hand. You had a good body language, that's what I noticed. And I like the way you ended. Keep searching for the rainbow. You know, that has some meaning for the audience. I would suggest also, apart from what Toastmaster Danya suggested, keep the time. You know, you had exceeded by 16 seconds. Ensure that your speech, so that comes out of practice. You need to practice well. The next speaker was Toastmaster Mansi Bihani, who is being evaluated by Toastmaster Sadugol. I request Sadugol to come and do it.
So as per Peter Drucker, the most important thing in communication is hearing what is not said. Mr. Evaluators, fellow Toastmasters, guests, today my brief was to listen to the speaker's body language and vocal variety. And Mansi was so good at it today, I did not really have to listen very hard. let's just all ruminate on the three things the speaker excelled at. Firstly, the very liberal use of the hands. Right when you started the speech from past, present to future, then you plucked ideas out of air, that is, you were at the top of your game. Second one, voice modulation, which comprises mainly of tone, pitch, and pace. Pitch, there was not much variation, but I don't think the speech change demanded that much. Your pace, you varied your pace appropriately throughout the speech. But what on tone was really amazing. And tone is, conveying emotions, joy, anger, sadness, and the joy you conveyed for an impending meeting with Ranveer, right? Waiting for that. And then the sadness you conveyed when you found out you had a very beautiful smile on your face and he's not there. Going with the cocktails alone. I think we absolutely hit the ball out of the park. Just a wee bit point of improvement here is maybe you could have introduced the pause a little to embellish the speech more. Right at the point when you disclose that Ranveer is not here, just give it a little gap to disclose that. Third point, and the point which I fell in love, with the speech, was the very expressive use of your facial expressions and eyes. Both were completely in sync, right? When you convey joy, face lit up, and your eyes smile, and vice versa, right? In the sadness. So I think this was, for me, this was the crown girl of the speech. So Mansi, given that it was so good today, I wrote a poem. No, that is for Rashi to do. But in this case, I will give you the sobriquet of the great American actress, Greta Garbo, given your love for movies and movie characters. Why Greta Garbo? For folks who don't know, she was the premier actress of the silent film era, silent film. And today I felt we could have communicated even without saying it.
Adding to what Sadugol mentioned, Mansi. First thing I noticed was your stance. You stood, and the moment a speaker comes and stands, the stance, you're going to get something good. That's very important. So that was very good. You had a smile, very good, and you are confident. So very different from the first speech I had seen you. It's totally different, Mansi. Keep it up. You consumed the grace time. That you have to be careful. You crossed 7 minutes, went into 7, 16, 18 seconds was grace. But still you are within time. In the competition, you are judged accordingly. So ensure that you practice well and finish by 7. Though you have 30 seconds. That's only for winding up or closing. Otherwise you tend to close abruptly. You tell something and get away. The whole meaning is lost. The next speaker was Toastmaster Bryan and where is he? Bryan, there you go. And get set go. And he is being evaluated by Toastmaster Rashi, Dr. Nithin.
Fellow Toastmaster, General Evaluator, and Bryan in particular. There's a famous saying in management which says that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I think so your project indicated just that. So let's see what you did well. Since you are one of the A1 members of the club, I have taken the letter A and broken down your entire evaluation. So the 2 A's which you did really well. One was the analysis. You had a proper analysis. Analysis is breaking down something. You broke down the entire plan, team, research and development, database, communication. You had a great analysis and a great implementation of that analysis. How you got your team, how you did the research. I don't know why you used the word development. You didn't develop any patent or project or anything like that, but you did a good research and there was fantastic analysis of whatever you did. The second thing which I liked about your speech was your authenticity. You're a leader, you can make out from the way it was an original story, it was a story which you went through, so there was authenticity, and you talked about stuttering, and throughout your speech you also stuttered. I don't know if it was authentic or what it was, but it looked like you were trying to bring in the stuttering to bring out that authenticity. So the authenticity stood out brilliantly as a leader, at what you did, how your teacher got you did, how you got 830 people. That was evident in the results which you got from your entire planning and implementation. Now, where could you have improved Bryan as a speaker? One, the abruptness. The way you started off with that action of that stuttering thing, by the time we got to 30 seconds, 40 seconds, I didn't understand what we were trying to tell about the stuttering in the beginning. And when the timer rang the bell, you abruptly ended the speech. So that's why I learned this, and you finished it off. So the starting was abrupt, the ending was abrupt. It might be a little more smoother, not to start off, make it a little slower and make the ending a little more smoothly so that we can actually understand what you're going through. The second thing which I think you could have improved was action. The entire speech is a little odd because you have to plan and implement, but action. When my team rang up a person in Tamil, he said, something like that which would have got dialogues and would have got action would have made it even more smoother and it would have made it even more impressive. But however, you did a great job. So as Sudipto said, I can't leave you without a poem. So you have to ruminate and ruminate and ruminate and ruminate and ruminate over this poem. And the poem is like this. Bryan, today you taught us about organizing your fest, which was transcendence. Just a little less abruptness would have brought it more consonance. However, you are in BTMC a leader in the ascendance. So thank you.
Bryan, I would also end it with the Chinese my friend, he's here, he can understand it, all Chinese. I can't take this risk. Bryan, but one bravest thing you did, I don't know if Toastmasters know it, you asked the audience and asked them a question and asked them to raise their hand. Now, this is very risky. What happens if nobody raises? But that is, I think, a very bold step, and you take success in that. As Rashi was mentioning, as far as the time is concerned, you took 7 minutes, 35 seconds. You crossed the grace period and crossed the word. So be careful about the time. Others, well done. Bryan, give Bryan and all the speakers that you have. Coming to Toastmaster of the Day, River Topic Master of the Day, Toastmaster Ganesh. You said it's very easy. It's very easy for table topic master to come and say, very easy. Even the easiest topic becomes tough the moment you come here. So, but of course, you took that excuse and said, you're trying to make them comfortable. Basically, that's so people will come prepared, but still people are wondering who is going to call and all that. But well done, you covered 12 people, all wonderful, brilliant topics. And what I liked with the table topic master was, after each speaker, he has a transitioning, he had a word or two about the speaker, a humor. So Ganesh Pai is good in humor, so he brought in a humor. Well done, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. Give a big round of applause for that. Now coming to the Toastmaster of the Day, Alan. Thank God you introduced me nicely. So I will give that back to you. Well, you have a powerful voice and you did move around the stage. I like that. I would request all the speakers, except the evaluators, you can be one place, but all the speakers come and try to explore your stage. It's all people come here to explore or develop a skill of speaking in public. So that's what you are showing. You are an example for all of us. And you didn't record any notes. As a Toastmaster, I would see who the next speaker come and speak. But you didn't do that. You had done your homework very well. I like that. Like that part. I would suggest probably you can bring vocal variety into your speech. You are slow, very clear in your talk. Probably bring some ups and downs and a theme-connected story in. Bring in a theme-connected story. That's all I would say. But otherwise, wonderful performance by Toastmaster Aranha. Please give a big applause. Yeah, right. I'm also doing mistakes. I request the tag team now, starting with the timer, Kenneth, to come over here and give your report, please.
Ruminating on the speech time and never done. Everyone did a great job staying with the time limit. I only urge Toastmaster Maheshwaran and Toastmaster Bryan to be a little more mindful of the time next time.
I request Arka Amshu come and give your report.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It was really an amazing evening. An evening well spent with such amazing speeches and such creative table topics. So, coming to the counter, Toastmasters who use the clutch words from 1 to 5 times are Toastmaster Shreya, Toastmaster Vishal, Toastmaster Alan, Toastmaster Abhay, Toastmaster Srinivas, Toastmaster Melvyn, Toastmaster Shivangi, Toastmaster Amrit, Toastmaster Kamlesh, Toastmaster Sheeb, Toastmaster George, Toastmaster Vishal, and the Toastmasters who used clutch words varying from 5 to 10 times include Toastmaster Maheshwaran, Toastmaster Danya, Toastmaster Bryan, Toastmaster Abhijit. Thank you.
Now for the man who, what is the plan? Beyond 11 p.m. the grammarian, Vijay Kaur.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So today, after everyone saw rainbow, the present and perfect, they were on get set go mode. So here is my grammarian report. The first, coming to the good usage, is good usage of English in today's session where the party time was over, water was falling off the hill, twin rainbows on the fall, dress to impress, life is paused, mind wandering the past, oscillating with pleasure and pain, mountain out of mood, focus in journey and not in destination, life is normal, see between breaths, channel your energy, and then lose your grammar you learn throughout your life. Be bold ahead of competition. Some not so good usages which can be improved were once I came to Bangalore public and once I returned to Bangalore, speaker or today's speaker who is speaking towards the topic and beauty of green scenery, beauty of greenery and small cycling, went for a small cycle ride and reached a good height, was able to accomplish probably that development. Invited to Chinese government, or invited by Chinese government. Now coming to the star attraction of today's session was, today's word of the day was used by a record level number of, can we have a round of applause? As promised, like the top 3 people who are going to get the fantasy today are, who are going to get their fantasy turned to are Aranha, Melvyn, Dr. Rashi and
I am ruminating what that makes number 12. 12 people. Okay, so thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for being here and listening to this session. I hand it over to Toastmaster Aranha.
That was great evaluation with lot of learnings. What do we give our general evaluator for the please give a big round of applause. I would like to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity to be Toastmaster of the day. I also want to thank you all because every smile, every nod that you gave, it just inspired me to do that much better. Every smile that you saw was a result of someone smiling with that encouraging smile from the back to the front. And I'm telling you, you played a huge part to every single person that came on stage, and that's why you helped them deliver their best. Of course, you also looked at your health, but you also ensured that we all had a great time. So please give all yourselves a huge round of applause. An absolute fantastic time. And now I'll hand it back to our beloved president, close call.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alan. Meanwhile, the voting link is up and the code is 8888. So I request all the members to please cast their votes. Meanwhile, I take this opportunity to thank our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nithin, and Toastmaster Alan, the Toastmaster of the day, who did a fabulous job in conducting this meeting and these sessions. Thank you very much. Let's hear it for them. A big round of applause. And as Toastmaster Nithin mentioned, there are some of the other committee members who have played a very significant role in conducting and hosting today's meeting, especially our VP Education Toastmaster Sheeb, our VP PR Toastmaster Vishal, and of course the other committee members too. So please, let's give them also a big round of applause. Thank you very much. And there are a few announcements. We have a speechcraft commencing from August 11th. So I request all the members to please refer about the speechcraft to whomever you know and who would definitely need it. And I ask all the guests who are here to get more information about this from our VP membership, Toastmaster Bryan, who would give you more details on the speechcraft shortly after this meeting, just outside this door. So it's starting on the 11th of August, and so please send me your registrations as early as possible, because we would close the registrations as we reach a certain number. And second announcement is that, which was also announced last week, we had shared the moments of truth, which is something that feedback that we need to give to the Toastmasters International, which we need to share in the Toastmasters International. Request all the members to please fill in these moments of truth, at least by tomorrow. Tomorrow I assume is a weekly off for all of you, so please take your time off and share us the feedback. We need to compile it and present it next week here before the entire club. And of course, after that, we need to send it to the Toastmasters International. So that's a requirement for us to do as a club. I request all of you to please fill in the moments of truth and send it as early as possible, the latest by tomorrow. Thank you. Yes, we have some of the awards today. The Best Auxiliary Role Taker Award. No prizes for guessing this because he's already promised a lot of people in fantasy. The Grammairian Toastmaster Vijay. The Best Table Topic Speaker Award. Well, she shared the best advice she's ever got, and that is something that is a huge takeaway for all of us. Toastmaster Shivangi Bhatt. created this, all the very best. The Best Evaluator Award. Well, he's the one who always gives us great evaluation, and today he had a lot of A's in his evaluation. And number one evaluator, TTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. The Best Goal Taker Award. I think today we had three wonderful goal takers who gave us a wonderful meeting here, but there had to be a number one, a winner, and he's the person who took us through the entire meeting and presented it so very well. This award goes to Toastmaster Alan Aranha. Toastmaster Mansi Bihani. I request all the winners to please come over here with your certificates. We'll have a conversation. I hereby adjourn meeting number 1439. Thank you all.